What did you have for breakfast, Forever Punks? Before we say anything about you, we need to know where you're coming from.
Well, what I had for breakfast, I usually have like cereal, granola, so that's what I had. But where I'm coming from, I mean, I'm a European guy, half French, half Hungarian, and but yeah, lived in like 5 countries here in Europe.
Wow.
Just like Piv. Maybe not the
Hmm.
five countries part, but sorry, Piv, doxing you as European. So you speak French?
I speak French, I speak German, I speak Spanish, English, and Hungarian. There you go.
Wow.
Always been my dream to speak French someday.
A true
Piv
polyglot.
also speaks French. I wonder who's better at it. Are you fluent, Piv? And what'd you have for breakfast in that order?
I'm not fluent. I think it's a bit better than my English, but not.
Hmm.
Well, then you're pretty
And
fluent.
Dove?
Yeah, then you're
Oh no,
fluent.
you're sorry, Piv. You gotta give the breakfast. You gotta give the breakfast.
Breakfast, just a piece of fruit.
What fruit? Is it a
The
still
pixelated
lifeable fruit?
one.
Is it a fruit that could exist in a still life?
No. Persimmon or kaki, or how do you call it?
What's it look like?
It's orange.
Persimmon.
Persimmon, indeed. Yeah,
Oh.
persimmon.
Ah, yes. Persimmon.
My
That is an alt
uncultured
fruit.
mind thought maybe an orange.
No, persimmon is a
In-
very
in, uh,
tannic fruit. It kind of is weird to eat, in my opinion.
It's nice. It's nice.
All right, so the sound is good. The breakfast is good. Dove, let me get a sound check on the breakfast
for breakfast,
and an estimation of your French level. I know you don't speak French, so you just jump to the sound breakfast check.
I was in bed and I ordered McDonald's on DoorDash because I was very tired. So I had a sausage egg McMuffin and a hash brown and a Diet Coke, the American way.
Dove is a
don't
quintessential 20-something who lives in New York. He does not
Merci.
need to worry about this stuff. So, Dove is very rich because he has his whole life.
Parlez-vous anglais? That's all I know how to say.
That's
Parlez-vous anglais?
nice.
Yeah.
Terrible accent. Though. I don't actually know. So excellent. So we have Forever Punks with us. We are going to explore a bunch of different topics. We're going to be today sticking entirely to the subject of ordinals because I think it's appropriate for us to rebrand this podcast based on the wins. There are two types of podcasts. Some, have a principle they stink to and they have an idea. We cynically shift our focus and our lives based on what we think can drive the most engagement in the short term. And that is ordinals. So this wasn't part of the plan to rebrand the podcast, but we're going to do that now. And so we're going to open with just engagement farming on ordinals. Or I'm not even going to say why you're why you're a person to listen to on this for Punk. I just want hot takes. Do you own Bitcoin Punks?
Hello, everyone. I do not own Bitcoin Punks. I do own Bitcoin and I love Bitcoin, but Bitcoin Punks.
You
have
own
been all over
Bitcoin
my-
and you own a punk, right? Is that
Exactly.
accurate to say?
That's accurate to say. But they have been all over my Twitter feed, indeed. It's hard to miss.
Mm.
But there has been like two things, no? The bitcoinpunks.com and then the ordinal punks, which basically is like a ripoff of mutant punks, from what I understand. And it's been all like fuzzy, and in the punks chat group, everyone's chatting about that, and then they're hyping it. So yeah, I'm more on the building side of things. So yeah.
Well, I can explain the difference between these things if we would like a breakdown.
Yeah,
I'm
just really let us, because this is, I think none of us, I mean, Dove likes this. None of us really like this in the end because we're like stuck in our ways somewhat. But to push us before we kind of go back to our classic things, I just think it's worth saying if you don't know what an ordinal is, and you, Dove, what is it? What is this? Just briefly, come on, just break it down for us.
And
So
also, I have
when
a
you-
question: is it something new, like very new, like an upgrade with Bitcoin, or is just they just came up with it like recently?
Yeah. So recently there was an update for Taproot, which allows larger file storage on Bitcoin. So before you could have Bitcoin NFTs, but they were kind of stored in this very weird way. There's recently an update that now allows you to put, pretty large images up to, as large as you want it, as long as you can pay for it. And storing something like a punk is literally like a $3 transaction to store a punk image on the Bitcoin blockchain. And they developed this system called ordinals, which is literally, it's kind of like a Dewey Decimal System for like where to locate a specific Satoshi, in the grand scheme of all the Satoshis that exist. Now we can say, and we can identify single individual ones. So the combination of this ordinal innovation and the update to Taproot have kind of like converged on this one thing. A developer named Casey developed the Ordinal wallet and set up all the documentation for how to inscribe and collect ordinals. Ordinal or an inscription is like the Bitcoin way of saying NFT. So ordinal and inscription are kind of like synonymous, and it just means NFT. So these
essentially,
oh,
go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
These ordinal punks, the reason that people are paying astronomical amounts of money for them, I think the ATH is 9.5 Bitcoin for one of these, is because it's not really about what they are necessarily. It could be a picture of anything, but it's the fact that these were some of the very first things ever inscribed on Bitcoin as an ordinal that makes them valuable. So like one of these is like, that's the fourth thing that anyone ever inscribed. And so people aren't buying it because it's a stupid vampire punk with heart eyes. People are buying it because it's early. And people like things that are early, right? So that's kind of why these are so high in price. They're very low effort, they're very lazy. The art is, ripped from somewhere. It hasn't been edited at all. It hasn't been quality checked, but it's just very early. And it's veritably early, so that's the selling point of these 100 ordinal punks.
So it's sort of like this thing where you're writing something down, you're inscribing something somewhere, and then later you can kind of prove that you did that, but can you, transfer it? You can transfer the proof that you did it. Here's a quiz.
No, you can transfer it. If you are running an Ord wallet, you can transfer these between each other. That's how they're selling.
Okay, so last pop quiz here, and then back to Ethereum. Last pop quiz. Do you know when the first NFT was ever inscribed on Ethereum? Excuse me, on Bitcoin.
Probably like 2014. It's probably like Namecoin or something. I don't know. Probably something like that. That was just like a piece of text.
What about this? The very first block.
That's a good one.
Sure.
Did you know this?
Yeah,
this is pretty interesting.
The thing with Ords is that they've ranked every single Satoshi in existence. The closer you are to the Genesis block, the more rare your sat is. So not only are people buying and selling these ordinal punks, but they're also selling the originals. Like the first Satoshi would be worth an astronomical amount of money, right? If you're the first Satoshi on block 0, that
plus it has this ordinal here. It did this ordinal, put this message on the Bitcoin thing.
Right.
So that is the true, if we just want to say, this is actually good because we discovered it, the true grail of all grails, right? The very first Satoshi on Bitcoin associating with this message. That is the most expensive thing you can buy.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, collectors would go crazy for that, for sure. Early Bitcoin, like memorabilia, essentially.
So you guys knew about this inscription?
I mean, I knew that there was like a message on the Genesis block, yeah.
Insane.
The reason that the Bitcoin punks are popular, really briefly, these are very clever because major props to Robert Clark and Alex, who made the website for these. I believe that's the two people. They use the exact same image hash as the CryptoPunks that come from the official CryptoPunks.app website. And the way that they're verifying it on this website is by checking every single inscription that gets made and cross-referencing its hash with the image hashes of the official 2017 punks. So the very first time that image hash is uploaded, the website looks at it and says, okay, good, let's mark that one and save it as the official first ever CryptoPunk on Bitcoin.
This is actually interesting.
I think
should we start? What if we started Ethereum inscriptions?
That's an NFT. That's not anything.
No. I'm saying you send a message, you send a transaction to yourself with no value, and the message in that transaction is the CryptoPunk file.
I don't understand. You're over my head. Do you want to look at one of mine on here? See one that I own? Do you want to search it up?
Yeah, what number?
Might be fun. I own which one is the coolest? Let's do 3684.
Okay, so this is actually a good segue then. So we have this one, right? This is a so looking at this. Okay, so let's should we officially do a segue? Let's have a segue.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's a good time.
You are Forever Punks. There's a lot we're going to get into, and I just want to start because analysis is something that you have done at a very high level. So just to tease people in, how would you analyze this punk? Like, if you could own this punk on Ethereum, how would you analyze this punk?
I'm not sure I can see it. Wait, which number is it?
It is, what did we say it was?
Stream on Discord, if you click watch stream. You might have to.
What number did you say?
Okay, I see that. Yeah.
Okay.
And sorry, Dub, real quick, what's the name of it again? I just want to get it pulled up somewhere else.
3684.
Okay. So Forever Punks, let's get, and you can't look up any references. You just have to really think. What is your analysis of this punk?
Well, I mean, it's a beyond beautiful punk. Tiara with, it has 3 golden traits, right? It's the only one in the collection that has, I believe, 3 golden traits. You both have the red lipstick and the little red dot of the tiara, which also makes it, I guess, beyond special. Now, the thing with the golden necklace and the tiara is that on some skin tones, you tend to lose them. Like, especially on albino and on the light skin tone, you cannot really see, the golden necklace, for example. Mm-hmm. So this one being a mid skin tone, it really stands out nicely. So I think, this is one of the nicest punks, if not the nicest female punk in the collection.
I love this. This is like going on Antique Roadshow, like Pawn Star. It's where the someone's really examining it. I love that a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask this question. So you say only one with 3 gold. That, I think, is a very bold and daring claim. I did not expect to get this level of content.
We can double check that on Forever Punks fairly easy, right?
So the only thing that comes close is there is a police cap earring gold chain, and the police cap has a little gold badge.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So the other thing that's interesting here is that all 3 of these yellows on the tiara, the earring, and the gold chain are a different hex code. I knew you were going to say that. They're different colors. Yeah.
Although the earring, the chain and the tiara kind of clash. They're a little too close. Okay, last question. Okay, not the last question, but big question. Without looking at anything, how much would you pay for this? Like, suppose your goal was, okay, I can take out a loan, and I need to pay the loan back in a month. Okay, and I need to be able to flip this in a month. Like, let's make it interesting, right? How much would you do for that loan? You have to flip it in a month at a higher price.
At a higher price. Okay, so let's kind of break things down. A zombie went for 850 a couple of days ago. Apes, they're probably in the 2K ETH range, and aliens, they're probably at 6K at the moment. And the question is, where do you rank it? So purely based on, let's say, trait rarity, tiaras, they would be in the 130 range. You had a gold chain to that. You're probably in the 160, 170 range. So on trait rarity, this one would be I don't know, 170 to the 200. However, and here comes the however, this is not just any punk, right? This is kind of like the seed phrase is 7 trait punk or one of these that are really special. So based on that, or like the the zero trait type punks or the 6 trait punks. I would put this definitely between a 6 trait and the zombie. So maybe I would see someone willing to pay 600 ETH for this.
Wow. So I should take no less than 6 Bitcoin for it. And I think that is probably fair.
That's the conversion ratio.
But I really like. I was gonna say I really like this kind of appraisal breakdown because I think like Middlemarch, Piv, and I, we spend a lot of time like closer to the derivative side of things, like looking at smaller collections and like being very nerdy about just plainly the images themselves. And I don't think any of us really pay too much attention to like the market or like the sales of these things. So I like having your perspective that you do follow like the OG V2 CryptoPunks and can kind of like, because I think we're kind of we're too in the weeds about it.
Yeah.
It's a good perspective.
I only concentrate on the main CryptoPunks, but if you can click on the Forever Punks logo there quickly, and put a filter on Tiara.
Okay, before I do that now we're getting in the weeds. So I just the cold open's open. Welcome to the Capsule 21 podcast. This is a podcast about art, technology, timeless art, and timeless art as it relates to technology, the blockchain, everything. I'm Middlemarch. My co-hosts are Piv and Dovetail. We are Capsule 21, an art collective dedicated to this kind of thing. We almost converted this podcast to an Ordinals podcast, but we couldn't because our guest today is too good. Next podcast will be Ordinals focused. Our guest today is Forever Punks, a true punk obsessive whose skills and interests absolutely perfectly complement ours. And he had a very good breakfast today, which you already know about. But if I cut it out, at me on Twitter. And we're going to be talking about his website, foreverpunks.com, maybe some of the other interesting things he's doing. Very secret things might come out on this podcast, only if he wants, And yeah, this is going to be a great talk. So thank you so much, Forever Punks, for joining us. And let's get back into it with your website. But first, thank you and welcome.
Thanks, guys, for having me on the show. Super excited.
Cool. Okay, so now back to the cold open. We clicked. We're on Forever Punks. I'm seeing something that looks normal in a way. It looks like I'm familiar, but then there's some interesting things. There's who owns this stuff. There's the prices going on here. Walk us through it.
Yeah, so this is an app, a tool that I started last summer because I felt on the main punk website there were some features missing that, I don't know, as a punk collector who visits the punk website, let's say 3-4 times every day, really, I was missing. And I'm definitely not alone in that regard. So if you go on the for sale part of the
this is the main punks website.
Yeah, if you click on for sale, over there, click on that. So the UX is fairly similar, but firstly, like if you just have a quick raw look at it, you have that blue banner at the top where Yuga acquired it, and that has been there for a year. And I still cannot believe they haven't removed it. I'm talking to some guys internally there trying to get that off. And also, like on the side, you have this Connect wallet thing, which just really doesn't feel in line with what it kind of should be. So and then you like look at it, and then you're thinking, okay, there are some guys that go into this and are spending 6 figures on these punks, sometimes 7 figures, and like there's no perfect way to kind of slice and dice it, And the way I started thinking about it, imagine you're buying a house, right? In the US, you go on Zillow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, on Zillow, you have filter, right? You have notifications, maybe you have price estimates or stuff like that. And for me, NFTs are pretty much digital real estate, right?
Oh, you need a punk Zestimate.
A punk Zestimate.
Zestimate is what Zillow calls their estimated value for a house. They call it a Zestimate.
So this is an alien. If you wanted to know what an alien looks like in Manhattan, it's this.
Yeah, this is an American alien.
But
wow, isn't that weird?
The value is so high they can't Zestimate it.
Yeah, I mean the alien went for 23 million, so you could get half of this with an alien.
Wow. But this, you have to live in New York City, which
Isn't that crazy
you know,
to compare alien
filth.
sale prices to like a literal like penthouse in New York City in Manhattan? Prime piece of real.
Yeah, would you shower in this, Forever Punks?
You could you could own this. Or you
I
could own
indeed
it.
would. Full transparency there.
Yeah, perfect.
Just like we like it in
Perfect.
Web3.
Yeah, this is this isn't what I remember. New York is anyway. So yes, you here you go. You see a bunch of beautiful pictures. You see all this history. I guess they do have the history, and you can you could request a tour. That's kind of a cool thing. Like you should be able to go to the owner and hear the owner's explanation and annotation of it. And then crucially, you get the Zenefits, or you get the Zestimates. So let's find a real Zestimate here. None. Okay, so this is not like a good example, maybe. Okay, what about this one? All right, so anyway, Zillow should look a lot more like the Zillow I remember. But anyway, back to your story here, because this is important. I think the idea of you're buying something as expensive as a house, when you buy a house, I bought a house once, you go through a lot of stuff. And so why is this just looking like some basic website?
And yeah, it's definitely a long process, right? It's not like you go to the supermarket and buy something. It's, I don't know, like a 2 to 6 month decision process. And I don't know, if you go back to my website, that was the initial goal, to kind of help punk purchasers to like along that journey. And let's go back to the example where you want to buy that tiara. So put a filter on tiara, maybe.
Okay.
Go to the filters. Yeah, there.
Include traits, intersection, which is traits. Okay.
And then if you go back,
when we say gold chain.
No, just look at tiara.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so
oh my God, you lost ones here.
Well, that's another point I can touch on. I really went into kind of the more nitty-gritty kind of stuff, like which ones are most likely lost, who are the punk owners on Twitter and stuff like that, that the original website doesn't show, because at the end of the day, what makes the original CryptoPunk collection very different than just a derivative punk collection. One is that it came kind of first, right? And the second is the holders, right? And that's what I was trying to show here, is that who are the holders, and easily see who they are and what their Twitter profiles are.
All right. Well, if we're talking about holders, no conversation about holders can be complete without the man, the legend, Sov. 2 of the most valuable tiaras owned by Sov. So that's the depressing thing, I guess. If you go to your website and see the holders, it's like Sov is dominant.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 7 tiaras.
Oh my God.
And he's been on this podcast, so you're very close to royalty.
Not this podcast. He was on the old one. We have to get him back on this one. But yes, why don't we just say it's on this podcast? Yeah. Why am I trying to denigrate our celebrity? Anyway, yeah. So this is, immediately you see this, and in my opinion, you are drawn in because, let's be honest, we're talking about big money here. So it's fun to sort of see who owns what. And then Lost is heartbreaking because that is, and I like the color you chose for Lost. It's like really red. It's like you're not playing around with this.
And so maybe the funny story here, when I started this project, I wanted to pick a punk to be the face of this Forever Punks project, and maybe go on the filter Lost. So if you click on filter, and you put owner and you type Lost, there you go.
Oh my God! But these guys aren't lost.
Yeah, I think that's a data issue right there, which we'll have to fix. But if you scroll further down, you will see maybe put a filter with big shades. Put a big shades filter there.
Oh my God, this is distressing. Okay, let me put the big shades on here.
And you will see in the top row you have that punk that looks exactly like my alien punk. It's just a human punk, right?
Wow.
And so I started with that punk being the face of Forever Punks because I thought it was a really, really cool punk, right? And
this is an amazing story.
It is. It's a funny story. And so I started it, I launched it, I started promoting it, and immediately I got backlash from the CryptoPunk community saying, oh, like it's a scammer, this is lost, blah blah blah. And to some degree they were right. They were like, yeah, show me that you own that punk. And of course I didn't. I was telling them it's lost. So my quick reaction is that I decided I'm going to like upgrade it to an alien, essentially, which to anyone who has spent more than, I don't know, 15 minutes looking at punks, it's clear that there's no such alien, the one that I'm rocking. So so that till this very day is the alien punk that I don't know, represents me.
Interesting story. A little bit of a
And-
hair trigger response from people to get upset with you for using a lost punk. I feel like that's very polite to use a lost punk.
Yeah, I mean, there's both sides to this, I guess, but you know, it is.
I think it's a brilliant strategy. Like if I were trying to give someone advice who didn't own a punk and wanted still to like have a punk as their brand, you pick a lost punk, you're golden. So I think that's super smart. I wish I had done something like this. So real quick, and I want to ask you about the alien thing, but I just want to say lost. I'm using your appraisals thing. I'm going to say lost. I'm going to sort by highest price. So really,
Oh my god.
the zombie headband is going to be my new personal brand. I'm going
So
to take
click on,
this.
click on Lost. Click on
Yeah.
Lost. No. Go on one of the punks and click on Lost. Actually, click on one of the punks. Just click on one of the punks.
Yep.
And go owned by Lost. Click on click on that. And over there you see an estimate for what's the total punk value lost, right?
Wow, it's amazing.
And now you can convert that into US dollars if you go on the little menu button on the top right.
Oh my God, it's exactly 50 million, just like our place. Isn't that
Wait,
weird? No, it's
no,
62
wait.
million. It's 62 million.
If you convert it to US dollars, right?
Yeah.
Then
62 million.
and so yeah,
That's a
so
lot.
it's crazy.
Well, and it's
But of
62
course-
million when ETH is barely fucking worth anything. 38,000 Ethereum, at all-time high prices.
Mhm.
That's I can't even. There's too many zeros to count. It's 150.
Yeah, but you can't look at it exactly like this way because the
$152 million
pricing thing takes into account that these are out of circulation in some extent. So if these were back in circulation, whatever, it's still pretty impressive. So
Also, another thing to note on this, like the estimation happens on like a one punk basis. Obviously, if you want to unload all these punks, there's insane
Right.
liquidity shortage, so you couldn't get that money for it. So
right.
that's another
Yeah,
thing.
you'd have to do a big OTC deal.
But if you convert to Bitcoin, check how many Bitcoins we estimated at. You can also so we also added like Bitcoin prices, right? So you can see Bitcoin. There you
2,000
go.
Bitcoin.
Oh my
And it's-
god.
Oh, you wanted me to choose USD up here. I was just converting it in my little app, but yes, this is way better. That's a good call.
Yeah, I mean, so we added all stuff over there. And by the way, do you guys know what the floor is in Bitcoin of CryptoPunks?
I do not.
How much was it? 4.3?
Better
Or-
say it soon.
There you go.
4.6. That's good. Well, this is good for Piv because he holds Bitcoin. I don't hold any cryptocurrency, so I'm just like praying everything goes down. It'd be cool to tweet like a montage of all of these things. That could be a good, promotional device, just to take a big picture of this or something. Anyway, just an idea. I think it looks great. Maybe an idea of sorting it. I actually like the sort by value.
I never realized one of my favorite punks is Lost. I didn't know that.
Which is
Scroll
How,
down.
how,
Scroll down a
how
little
did
bit.
you figure out they are lost?
And
that's
then
a good question. Thank you for asking. So essentially what I did manually is go through all the punk wallets that haven't moved since 2018, even on Etherscan, right?
Yeah.
And so that was my condition. Now that doesn't mean it's 100% lost,
Yeah.
right.
but it gives a pretty good indication. And
Ultra diamond hand.
yeah, or so yeah.
No, so my favorite in here, if you scroll up a little bit, and a little further up. God, there's so many of them. Okay, at the oh no, that's not that one either. It's further up. It's a pink hair. This one,
This one?
right there on the
Pink
left.
hair
yeah.
choker.
This is like the perfect punk, in my opinion. This is very
Because
cool.
it's got the
Cool.
pink.
Pink,
got the
pink
choker.
choker. That's black lipstick. It's like themed
black
in.
lipstick.
It's perfect.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Tiara one in a way.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you what's my favorite punk in the whole
Yeah,
collection?
of course. That would be
Wow.
great.
I-
Wow, you're giving it to us like this? I feel like you make
It's-
people wait to the end. No, give us the favorite. Yeah.
It's 9400.
Okay. Is this the pipe alien? No, you would. Oh, it has a pipe though.
Oh,
It
nice.
has a pipe. This is actually an interesting one.
So what makes this one your favorite?
So what makes this one my favorite? So first of all, it like stands out. There's no really other punk that looks anywhere near this.
Yep.
And the combination it has between the pipe, so pipe representing the past, and the VR headset representing the future, you have this girl, this lady with the crazy hair in the middle today. I think it's this very unique punk that just goes from the past into the future. And I mean, I wish I knew the previous owner of this punk. We were on Twitter. And I told him never to sell it, and he listed it at like 8888 ETH.
Oh, no.
So he got it. He sold it for 300 in the end. So I was like, oh man.
Yeah, this is an amazing punk. And another interesting fact about this. All right, I got some interesting facts too. Okay, I feel like I want to show that I know something. So take a look at this punk. Now this is a funk, I know, and we can get into the whole thing there. But this is a strikingly similar punk, right?
It is, yeah.
And I didn't prepare for this. I said, this is a punk or funk, whatever. This is the one that has the largest file size.
Oh, wow. Okay. Why?
So essentially, because of the transparency with the pipe and everything and all the stuff going on and additional colors with the overlay here, this is the punk that has largest file size. Your favorite is probably top 10 or top 5. Just the VR is just fewer colors than the than the classic shades, or it shows more variation of colors. I don't know how PNG works. It's complicated, but this is one of the biggest. So I think that's a very cool thing to say. Now, I think one thing you might ask is the smallest file size.
Would that be like the Zero Trait one?
No, Zero Trait has more colors because of the shiny thing. This is the smallest file size punk/funk because it is just so simple. So I would say, and this is very much in line with what you were saying, that if you want pure simplicity, this one's actually better than a Zero Trait. And if you want poor complexity, this is the best. So I feel like these two, by your metric, your words, not exactly your words, these are the best punks. In this case, they are facing left, but it's the same images.
Funny thing with this punk here, that not knowing what you just said, it would sell pretty near floor.
It's nuts. Yeah. It's nuts. Yeah. People don't know. I mean, the iconic thing that I actually believe is important, or not actually believe, but that's visually verifiable, is this, right? Which is small file size, but 2 colors, right? I'm sorry, this one's also 2 colors. Like that to me, I think is the are the Grail punks. There's only 24 2-color punks, just as many as apes. And they look like floor punks, but if you look at them, even for a second longer, it's like, wow, like there's something iconic. So that's kind of like my.
Would be pretty cool.
Let me see if I can show this.
Yeah, this is a great one though too. It's interesting that we're on the same wavelength with this kind of thing.
Can you see this? Is this showing up on the stream?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah! You gotta send me that. Can I buy that from you, dude? Like this is like my whole life.
Well, I can't see it. Where can I see it?
Oh, it's on
his. It's on his Discord. He painted a 2-color albino funk and put it on his wall.
I don't know if you can see it.
He's also teasing a little bit of a whiteboard. Dove, I love it. You're teasing the secrets.
Okay, there's not too much.
Can you see it, Forever Punks?
I cannot, and I'm a bit scared that I'll lose you guys. So.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. It'll be on stream. It's just a painting, not just a painting, but it's like something you can imagine. It's fine. What is your least favorite punk?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a very good question. To be very honest, go click on the logo Forever Punks, and if you click on sort, and you go to lowest to high, the last one, yeah, those guys are pretty bad in my opinion.
This kind of gets to, I think, depending on how you look at it, maybe an ugly truth or maybe a truth about the demographics of who buys these things, although there are fewer dark-skinned punks, so theoretically they should be more valuable. But I think, yeah, if you look at the behavior of people, I think this might reflect that, and yet, it's not the most attractive picture on the NFT world that I can imagine. No, stringy hair, I think is an iconically unliked trait, but this does not look like, this seems like a cool punk. So I feel like, it's really hard to say, and it's basically impossible. I think you've done the best out of anyone to like really look at this like critically, as a collector might, but then the combination of traits, like I think this is kind of a cool looking punk, and yet it is low appraisal. I think the combination of these two traits, even though maybe they're not individually things that people like, could be considered cool. This is again a trait combination question.
I love spots. I'm surprised spots aren't more popular.
Yeah,
In
I like
spots,
it.
there's not many of them as well. It's one of the rarer traits. So.
But yeah,
But
I think the floor of, and this is not just CryptoPunks, by the way. Most collections that have different skin tones have the same problem, and I do think it is a problem, and it's kind of an indictment of our NFT space. The diversity in Web3 is like very lacking and like very slow, but I think it'll shift over time. But yeah, it is sad to see, and
what
I don't know. It's, to me, it's like disappointing.
But maybe that's an opportunity if you're looking at things through a purely financial lens, which maybe you shouldn't if it's like a different story. But you could say, hey, like
exploitative, but
well,
yeah.
No, it's not. It's an opportunity to celebrate this more than this class, this sort of group of punks more than has been celebrated. And yeah, there is a way you could look at it that's maybe like that. But I think it's if you think they're the world is missing something right now. But anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
Going to filter and for owners type NFTX.
Wow, that's cool. That's
and
smart.
there you will see basically all the punks in the NFTX pool, right?
The ones that nobody wants.
That's what basically nobody wants. And what I find interesting, if you sort it by what you put over there, highest to lowest, then you see, probably that's the best one to take out. And then at the bottom, you have the worst ones. So stuff like that.
Half shave.
So it's interesting. A pretty big 69 versus 57. Right, that's a pretty wide range for things that are supposed to be exactly the same value. So that's kind of another interesting. Thought. What was I gonna say? Totally lost it. Where are we going? With this?
Also, maybe what I could add to this, that for example, stringy hair. There's a couple of traits that are different for male and female. For example, I'm not a fan of stringy hair on the male punks, but on female, I think it looks pretty cool. This grid type hair, especially in the NFTX pool, you have punks with women punk with stringy hair and an earring. I think they look very nice. So
stringy hair with VR is also nice because it gives them something like wires.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I like that as well.
Stringy.
So I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say, do you? Because there's deep. Okay, well, first, what is your feeling on deep NFT value, which is your mortal enemy, your competitor, not actually your enemy, but certainly another player in the appraisal space.
Yeah, it's a good point. So I know Nico personally. We're on call sometimes, so I know the guy. He's a great guy. He's a very smart guy as well. We're kind of, I would say, we overlap a bit, but not as much as you would think. He is doing I'm clear about this. His estimates are way better than mine. Like my estimate is a very kind of simple floor-based estimate. And the reason I put it in there is just to have a quick way to kind of sort them and slice and dice them. But if you want better estimates, definitely his website is the one to go, And then he also does more collections and stuff like that. So but then we're more punk specific. We go more into detail into punks, into owners, and then with the features that are soon to be announced, that's definitely gonna be very much punk focused. So
Do you plan
this is his best deal. And so what is your best deal? We can compare these things. Oh, that's the original website. No, thank you.
crappy original
Okay,
website? No sorting, no value.
Let's
nothing.
clear this. I like also how your thing goes in the URL, right? So it's like a
yeah, that's all made on purpose. And if you had like go on the dark mode, click on the little moon in the top.
Oh
right.
yeah, let's relax for a second. Do we really have to be at work here? Yeah, that's good. Okay, I feel like I'm relaxed now. So
Training on my eyes.
So this is your best deal. Very beautiful punk pilot helmet, amazing. So this is your best deal, and let's look at oops, let me go back here. And this is not even in the same universe. Let's see, where's the deal here? So this is saying it's a bad deal. Wow, but who knows? Who knows who's right about this? This is saying the valuation is less.
He's probably right on this because it would have sold already. Like it's listed for 110, right? So I think
Yeah.
I would have to adjust the weight the pilot helmets have, but like it's done manually. So
okay.
he has it automated, right? So, but that's not where our focus lies at the moment. So.
I wanted to ask, do you have any plans to monetize Forever Punks? I'm like surprised that you've done all of this for free.
That's a good question. We do have thoughts in the pipeline. We'll probably be raising a round soonish. So we're talking to investors, to punks about that, and that's in line with the next feature we're kind of shipping. So there's more on that to come.
Okay, interesting.
Come on, tease us. Can you tease us with any more from your new quote unquote feature / new entire whatever it is? Maybe it's bigger than just a feature. Maybe it's not. What is the the tease?
So,
just one teaser.
Well, let me help you with the tease. It's definitely one of the main features that is missing from today's punk website. And as we know, punks are not ERC 721, right? Mm-hmm. And ERC 721 has this feature and punks don't. So that's what we found a way to add it with the help of the very own Middlemarch, who did chip in with his brain. So kudos to that. Thank you.
Oh, I see. A little self-promotion there.
Yeah. So if you ever, it's just, hey, I'm just trying to help. No, but I'm not going to say more. But the reason I was interested in helping out is just because I think it's a very cool feature or thing, and it's also shocking to me that no one has really tried to do this in a real legit way. So I celebrate that, and so we'll see. It's no pressure. Could be huge. No pressure. If you're watching this, if you made it this far, you are the target audience. So get ready. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be weird. But is there anything you can show us? Because the thing we're talking about now is like, okay, money and everything. So that's a little bit under wraps. But like, is there another like cute thing or anything? Like, you've showed us so many interesting like details from Forever Punks. You've told us your favorite punk. I want to keep pumping you for details.
It's a good question. Well, so Piv and I, we're working on something together. The original plan was to reveal my own punk this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
So that was the original plan, and so the way I thought of it was, writing a nice little thread and publishing it on Twitter, why I bought the punk and all that. But then the problem arose that Twitter Blue takes a week to verify. So that didn't happen, and I cannot get the hexagon on it. So I delayed that till next week. So I guess that's another tease announcement happening next week. And
I love that.
I'm thinking of doing a very cool open edition thing around it, where I want to kind of do an open edition kind of token that you can we'll do things around that you can burn, you can do things to get some other art. So that's also in the pipeline for next week.
Very, very, very cool. Very cool. I mean, I'm verified on Twitter Blue. I have the check. I actually was verified before. Anyway, whatever. Everyone who's verified before Twitter Blue has to like emphasize that. That's what I've noticed. I haven't really noticed it, but I do it. So you mentioned Open Edition. We actually at Council 21, and you've actually seen some of this beyond even what we're revealing now for Pump, so you can feast it. But we are, let's just go ahead and tease it. Should we tease it? Let's tease it. So, this is going to be something.
Website today, right?
Boom, we just did.
Incognito.
We just did.
There it is.
We just did. So this is, let's just say, why is it germane? Well, we're pumping it, so obviously we know something you don't. But it is also very much related to punks, and you will see it, and a Forever Punk will get a free one. Sorry, everyone. Be on the pod. I know. I'm announcing it right now. It's real time.
If you engage with the tweet, then you can get a free one maybe as well.
It's free for Forever Punks. Though we expect him to tweet it, maybe. No, just kidding. It doesn't matter. It's not how we do it. There's no quid pro quo. It's just free. Everyone else will have to pay a lot for it, actually. But the Open Edition starts in 6 days. This is a cute little countdown. And as you can see, it's going to be for this key. Key designed by our very own Piv, who is also in contention for another Open Edition. I just heard. I didn't just hear about it. Piv, what's the story with this key? How did you make something so such a quotidian? That's French, right? Such a quotidian item, and yet has turned into something so beautiful. How did you unlock the potential of this artwork, so to speak?
Well, it's actually a Dovetail and Piv collaboration. This one,
our first ever.
Yes.
Oh, of course, right? Okay, so you did the static key and Dovetail animated it, of course. Is that how it broke down? That's an amazing collaboration right there.
That's indeed.
It's very iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Dove also decided to put in a shine. If there's a shiny thing that goes across the key, which Dovetail put in for free. Like, that wasn't part of the original agreement. It was just supposed to bounce with the sparkles, but he said, you know what, I'll go the extra mile. That's
no, because it needs to look like there's light. It's moving around. It needs to look 3D.
Yeah, this is sick. So Open Edition coming. One thing we were also talking about, Pip, I don't know if we ever got around to this, but there was supposed to be like a little segment we did with Forever Punks where we kind of like tested him or whatever.
Real punk, fake punk.
Right. Didn't you mention this, Pip? Should we do that? Do we have capabilities to do that? Are these all real punks, or is this the test?
Oh, we can do the one from my Twitter, maybe.
Ah, perfect. Yes. Okay. But these punks, just real quick, Pip, these punks are real or fake?
None of them is real.
None of them are real.
No.
Oh my God, I wish you hadn't said that. No, this could have been perfect. Okay, Forever Punks. One of these is real. Can you identify which one?
What am I looking at here? I see the key on your screen still. If you can.
Oh wow, you don't see the. Okay, let me paste it into the chat.
Yeah, you're not.
Hold on.
Put it on your screen.
I'm pasting it into the chat.
All right.
Actually, I can just
I'll put it on your screen.
Open it in my chat. Hold on. The screen share. There we go. So for those watching at home, this is quite duplicative, but which one of these is real? There's one real punk.
Oh my God. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. Okay. I'll go from bottom right.
Okay, wait, we need two answers from you. We need two answers to you, Forever Punk. Which one is real? Which one should be real?
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, the bottom row, none of them look real to me. I would go with the leftmost column, the gold chain Frumpy. That looks real to me, or the bandana next to it. One of the two.
All right, let's go to your site. Let's go to your site, and we will test this now. Okay, what do we say? We said traits intersect. I'm actually really good at using the site right now. Frumpy. Whoops. Oh, bug, dude. Sorry, I have to report this bug.
Yeah, I noticed some things with the dark mode. Switch back to, Frumpy hair, gold.
Shane, and then
No, I was wrong.
nope, I don't see it. No beard.
Damn.
So let's try bandana. What do we have? Bandana.
Bandana and rosy cheek. It's actually really hard. I never thought of it this way.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. With the small shades over there. Yeah, small shades. So yeah, I mean, this to me is a great one. All right, second question. Which one should be real?
I mean, I love the top two, like the top hat and the pigtail. I mean, those are
the pigtail one. The pigtail pipe is always cool to me. The way that they intersect with each other, I always think that's funny.
Yeah, super weird.
So yeah,
this is a great.
But even like maybe the funniest looking is the bald female with a clown nose and the silver chain. That punk looks just so amazing.
Yeah,
that one is
great.
But when you follow the Matt and John rules for punk construction, it's really hard to tell if it's real or not. Because the rules, no one knows the rules, but it's like you know it when you see it. Like you know a Matt and John trait punk when you see one, when you're following their rules. It's interesting.
And it's just, there are so many possible ones of these. Now, of course, the Forever Punks one isn't possible, which I think, makes it, cooler and less likely to offend like strict constructionists or whatever. But let me ask you this question. I know how Piv made these. Dare I say I made the thing. That is how Piv made these. I hope he used mine. How did you make yours, Forever Punks? How did you construct this alien? Dove mentioned something about, well, I'm not going to say what Dove said off show. I don't believe in that kind of thing. But how did you construct this alien? Like literally, how did you produce the PNG?
That's a good question. So it was not me. So I have my best friend, also a fellow designer. She's Sarah_NMT on Twitter. She's a great
M as in Mary?
NMT. Sarah_NMT as in Mary. Yeah. So she's a great friend of mine, and we did already 2 NFT projects together. No, that's not it. No, without the H, without an H.
Sorry, it's the American.
Sarah with no H.
Sarah.
Sorry, I'm very provincial American.
There you go.
Don't have a passport.
Gave him a follow.
So she's, by the way, an OnCyber featured architect. So she does insanely cool things.
Wow.
And
boom. Yeah. Oh, not logged in.
So I encourage every one of you who are watching, and even you guys, give her a follow. She's super cool. And she did it for me. And when she sent over the alien with the nose hitting the beard, right? And I was like, yeah, that doesn't look right because the alien nose is like, I think 3 pixels long, and that would like intersect with the luxurious beard. So that's where we kind of modified the alien nose to we chopped off a pixel.
It kind of gives him, it's kind of like a Michael Jackson nose effect there with the 2 pixels.
Yeah, I could say.
So what is the are there any hidden traits on this? Or are, you know what I mean? Like, did you also put a twist into this alien and put a hidden smile here just to really
even if I did put a hidden smile, like it's not on chain or anything, so it's just
there's no way to communicate that. So just say, listen, there's a hidden smile. You could say I put a smile, I layered the other thing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So okay, so now we're getting to grab bag. Oh, is anyone in the Twitch?
Yes, there's a question from Sean or a remark.
Okay, Bonner coming in hot. Hell yeah. Let's see. Okay, so all right, here we go. Someone's promoting things. So real quick, there's someone promoting things, so we probably want to pin that. And Forever Punks used to have a super helpful filter to show the V1, but sadly they removed it. They did a token sale already to raise funds. Okay, so what is this deal? Okay, so this gets us into a good thing, like mega controversy, like whatever. So there's V1s, I don't know if you call them derivatives. There's the funks, which we've been showing, the left-facing ones. There's the zillion derivatives we made, the zillion derivatives everyone else made. What is your view on this, starting with this question about the V1 punks filter thing, which apparently was scandalously removed?
Yeah, I know Sean. He's a good guy. He's a funny guy. Yeah, he pinged me the other day about this question. So the story behind that, in August, September last year, when I launched a website, I did like a super quick HTML based thing. And the goal was to put basically every filter in it I could think of, right? And then with all the new features that we were building, we decided, then I got my co-founder on board. He's kind of more into the smart contract dev stuff. And we decided, the HTML thing is just a no-go, right? That thing cannot scale. So we refactored the whole app into a Next.js app, which now is what you see. I mean, it looks the same, but it's basically scalable. And the way I thought of it is I would like remove anything that's like I call it exotic, and for me, V1 is part of that group. So yeah, and really focus on what most people call punks, and that's what we have here. So that's why it was removed.
I think that makes sense.
Cutting room floor.
Maybe I'll put some stuff back in the future, but now that's not what kind of product development looks like at the moment. So yeah.
Wow. Rip. So what is your feeling on V1 punks? Come on, say something controversial or whatever. Like let's pump this podcast.
Well, I don't own a V1. I was not a minter. I think the story is cool. The story is cool. I mean, yeah.
I'm not a big V1 fan either. So you're not lonely if you have a negative.
You need a wrapper around it. I was speaking to Tony Herrera the other day. We kind of agreed that if the V1 controversy didn't exist, probably Punk Floor would be at 100 ETH by now, right? Because a lot of newcomers, they come in and they're like, oh wait, what am I buying? Blah blah blah, and that kind of scares them away. So in that sense, it's not good. But what I mentioned earlier on in the podcast, for me, punks first and foremost is the community and the holders. Like if you say V1s, like what's the community? They're like, who are the V1 holders? Some really annoying guys, and that's about it.
Wow, Forever Punks takes a U-turn on previous stance on V1 Punks, slandering it viciously and everyone who owns one. There's your headline. Reporters, if you're watching this, publish that headline and you will get clicks. Wow, thank you for that, Forever Punks. I mean, look, part of life is you got to get clicks, and we're all on board.
Yeah, but exactly, the guys that kind of came out with the V1 stuff, they were like aiming on getting clicks, aiming on getting controversy, and they did get it, right? And a lot of the punk holders, they I would say they fall trap to it. So it's part of the game.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Rainforest Gate, like Larva Labs blew it on that one.
Yeah, it got amplified by Larva Labs for sure. I mean, I don't think they played it well.
Rainforest, so weird. Why?
Yeah, it's a simpler time really back then. Like, oh my God, controversy, like pre-banner on the top of larvalabs.com. Like it was much more simple. Like I guess I was newer to NFTs, but
it was also simple.
But yeah. Okay, so let's wrap it up here. I could do this forever. Literally, this is my whole life. Same. I got people who agree with that. But for people at home, they want to get on with their lives, maybe or not. You could watch this forever too. Anyway, the bottom line is there's one last element. Or actually, let me check my notes. But I think there's one last element that I wanted to discuss, which is when we were talking about this. Like I always like advice basically because news you can use. So when we were talking about it before, you were saying it's actually hard to buy a punk, not just because of value, because part of value is who else has punks that are similar. So for example, Fubar, legendary dev, nerd idol, who I met, whatever, it's cool, has a Tiara punk. And for me, that's it. Like Fubar, he's got the Tiara punk. I could never buy a Tiara punk. I could get Dubs one because it's the most iconic punk of all time. But then you have two people, NFT Statistics and Claire, who have the pink with hat, and 6529 obviously has the hoodie punk. So hoodie punks are basically worthless right now because you can't make it your identity, and they all look the same essentially. They're not even that rare. So how do you pick the right punk to get if you're actually trying to get a PFP?
My friend, that's such an amazing question, and I've been spending the last 2 days writing up a Twitter thread on exactly that topic. And my plan, so when I was selecting my Forever Punk that I will reveal next week, the way I was selecting it, the selection process for that punk was exactly what you just described. I wanted something that was not taken yet by any famous person, a trait combination that is, let's say, instantly recognizable. So, for example, I would not go for a Tesla hat because our friend Crypto Novo, he owns the fucking Tesla hat. Or I would not go for a green clown hair because Tony Herrera, he rocks the clown hair. Or as you mentioned, the tiara or the pink hair. So I will put out a detailed thread on that topic next week, which will be part of my reveal thread of my punk. And yeah, but I think that is something that not enough people kind of think about yet. But
okay, I don't know the answer to this, so let me see if I can stump you then, because I want to buy a punk. I'm trying to buy a punk this year, by the way. Anyone who's trying to scam me, so that'd be a good time to do it after I get it. Let's just look at classic shades, gender, male. Okay, let me see a good classic shades.
Let me just put a small asterisk in there. Let me just add one thing to it. It has to be the main trait combo, right? Because, for example, there's a ton of traits that are just not like main traits. So if you think of a mole or a goat beard, that's not going to define your punk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would.
Okay, what about this? What about this? Classic shades beanie. Come on, this is very distinctive.
Well, listen, I have a friend, Phantom Scribbler. His punk looks exactly the same.
That is his.
Oh, it's owned by Phantom Scribbler.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not distinctive.
But
okay,
like
what?
But so
okay, what about this one? What about this one? Classic shades.
That's
police.
amazing. That punk is so good.
Pull up punk 9019. This one, oh my god, this one goes crazy. This is such a crazy punk.
This one's of course, is amazing.
Yeah.
Listed for too much. But yeah, I guess none of these ever come up for sale. That one's good. What are the other than the classic shades?
I think it just has to be unique. It has to have some je ne sais quoi, some unspeakable sense to it, some style. It has to have drip. As the kids would say.
Undo all the filters and go to the floor, because what I'm thinking is that if you want to pick up a punk and build your personal brand around it, you want to pick up something maybe that is like fairly affordable near the floor, but
affordable, yeah.
I mean,
okay, what about this? What about this? What about this?
I mean, there's like bandanas. There's like a million of them.
All right. Okay, let's go to the floor.
So just
how do I do floor? How do I do
floor? For example, okay, let's.
Okay. Sorry. Before you say anything, on this screen, I want each of you to think of the punk that you would buy if you had whatever ETH. Okay, you had to buy a punk right now to be your Forever Punk. Okay, think about it for a second, and then let's hear what Forever Punk has to say. Okay, that's enough dead air. We can't have dead air. Just think about it. Just be honest. Okay, now Forever Punk. What's the answer?
I think on NFT Twitter at the moment, no one is really rocking a red mohawk female. So in the second row on the left, that one, I think if you'd make that your profile and you'd like go all in and build around it, I think that would be something good. And no one has done it to my
all right, well, I'm a little bit of a traditionalist on this, and I shouldn't be, but like let's just say it's male. Just I need that again for male. Just because realistically this is what I would do. I'm sorry, I know I could do right now. I mean,
so this one gets tricky, right? This one gets quite tricky.
Yeah, it's got to be female. This is like a new level, I guess, if you really look at these.
I mean, these are like a lot looks the same. I would say. I love the.
What about this guy?
But that's Noah, dude. That's Noah.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's the biggest mistake I could ever make. Sorry. Okay, good. Easy mistake.
Let me know before you buy your punk, okay?
Mr. CryptoPunks himself.
So you think pipe?
Yeah, that one I was looking at. Yeah, it's amazing.
The guy in the orange
What?
beanie, that's like a Fred Durst punk. If you want to be like a new metal account,
Yeah, but there's so many beanies. There's like that's
but
like
the little goat.
What about what about this one? This is like could be like the worst punk ever or whatever.
Yeah,
literally. I would go for the face masks, the medical mask. If you go back, you see two medical masks over there that are just sticking out.
Okay,
Right?
where?
You see
this
the dark
guy.
one, yeah,
That
and then
one's very
to
nice.
the bottom left. No, to the bottom left. Yeah, that
This
one.
guy.
That-
Oh
that-
wow, okay. That you get your beanie there, Dove. Your dream to have a beanie.
Oh, I don't care. I don't like the beanie.
I know. I don't know. I'm just trying to cause controversy.
For
What
me,
else? Oh wow, what about this one? This is sick. No.
Ooh. I know the story on this one. I have a friend here, Valko. I don't know if you guys know Valko. He owned this punk at some point, I think, and the wallet he owned it from got for some reason banned on OpenSea, and that was the only reason why he wanted to sell this punk. And then in the end, he ended up selling it, and then it went through like a couple of holders. This one is like no one wants this punk somehow.
Why does no
For
one want
me,
this punk? This punk's amazing.
Well, I don't like the spots personally, but
What's up, Piv?
But if you
yeah, I think for me it would be probably a one trait albino, but that's not a good
how do
one.
we find one
apparently.
trait?
But for me it would be because that's like the kind I worked with most, I think, to start from. Like a very,
Artistically.
type albino.
Yes.
Type albino. You have to type albino.
but I mean one without.
No,
For
no,
me,
below.
the things I used were always without a lot of features too.
Yeah, good luck, Piv.
But that's
Hey,
very
hey, kid,
much
good luck.
here.
Very expensive. Wow.
Okay, so what about this one? What do you think of this one, Forever Punks?
That one's a nice one.
But it's
That one's
listed
nice.
way higher than the value. Let's plug this into.
And-
So this
and
is
what-
how it works. You have to like really go around. Okay, so still not so
let
good
me
there.
before we shut down. Go on. Let me tell you another feature, another filter that I think is really cool. Go on. Remove. Keep albino. Put back albino. No, albino. Yeah, there.
Yep.
And remove one attribute and replace it by silver chain.
Oh right, yeah, it's impossible
Yeah,
to
you
see.
don't see them. Yeah, you hardly see them.
Those punks
Oh.
are so cool.
Yeah, this is a good one. So yeah, this is a cool one.
Maybe even
150.
remove male. Remove male. Just add some females. Yeah.
Oh, here's your red mohawk.
There you go. And you have Jack Butcher right there.
Oh yeah, Jack Butcher. Yep.
I mean,
Oh, I didn't know his had a silver chain. Oh, Easter egg.
Yeah, neither did I. What did he pay for this? I wonder. Butcher. We gotta get him on the
You have a
show.
link to Larva Labs, by the way. So on my page,
We have. Sorry.
you have a link directly to Larva Labs website on so yeah. If you go
Oh, there
down,
we go.
scroll down. Yeah, we want to
yeah.
have this feature eventually, but
Oh, that's a lot of money, I guess. But
$375,000.
Punks OTC bought it for 380. So that's
know.
weird. Sold $58 from Pranksy. So if you were super smart, what's the next punks? Maybe is the bigger thing. Who knows? Okay, so we're basically out of time here. I could go on forever, but I want to leave the people wanting more. If you are watching this right now and you want more, too bad. Okay, you're going to be left with that, and you have to sit with it, actually. Our amazing guest today, not this one, has been Forever Punks, a mysterious man, but not for long, because he's going to be coming out with a very strong Twitter thread, a theory on punk selection, which you saw teased here, and the theory in action with his new punk. A lot of exciting things coming from this guy, and just amazing to meet a like-minded punk freak who loves controversy and loves clicks. My name is Middlemarch. This has been the Capsule 21 podcast. My co-hosts are Dovetail and Piv. We love the clicks. Next week, we're converting into a purely Ordinal podcast. So if you like Ethereum NFTs, you have just watched the last ever episode. What do you all think? Any last words from my panelists, from our guests?
Next week is not an Ordinal podcast. Next week is a shill of the launch of our thing. February 15th.
Oh, yeah, we're shilling. Okay, let's start the shilling now. Look at the shill. Gaze into the shill. If you look, you gaze into the shill for long enough, it gazes back to the shill.
That's all.
Look at that timer.
February 15th, 5
Not
p.m.
even
EST.
moving. Hit it. Forever Punks, any last words?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me on. I literally could go on for 3 hours with you guys. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah. Well, you'll have to come back.
I think it's our first real punk podcast. No?
Oh, you had Jeremy last time, no?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what do you mean? And you also had Self, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but those are prehistory.
And we've never
we
focused
can actually
on
pull stuff
the
up.
original. We've never focused on
Not
the original
visual.
I see.
V2 punks for this long.
And Bonner says, bad take. I think about the V1 Punk. So we had controversy. This is amazing. Everyone's making money from this. Piv, any last words?
No, it's been great.
Hell
Thanks.
yeah. All right. Until next time, gentlemen, Capsule 21 out. Peace.